Having shown that the soul is a substance that has an independent existence of the body, to further strengthen that conviction, Sadhguru repeats the first three parts of the previous verse. Same. Two times he has done like this. In verse 38 and 108, only difference of one word. The rest is repeated. Kashayani Upshantata, Matra Moksha Vilas, Bhave Khed. Over here it is Prani Daya, over here it is Antar Daya. But it is repeated. And second time is over here. Bhasyo Deha Dhyasti, Atma Deha Saman, Pante Banne Binnache, Ane Pragata Lakshane Bhan. Over here, in this verse, Bhasyo Deha Dhyasti, Atma Deha Saman, Pante Banne Binna. Do you want an example? Jem Asine Myan. So there it is the Siddhant, and here it is a Drashtant. Only difference. So this I have learned from my Guruji. Everything should be supported with a Drashtant. So he said, કે everywhere I go, કે તમે દ્રષ્ટાંત બહુ સારા આપો છો. ક્યાંથી લાવો છો? મેં કીધું એક આખી દ્રષ્ટાંતની બુક છે. તે આમ વાંચીને આવું. અરે કોઈ માણસ 40-50, એક માણસે તો કીધેલું કે આ સત્સંગમાં તમે 35 એક્ઝામ્પલ્સ આપ્યા હતા. એક વખત કીધેલું કે 52 આપ્યા હતા કોઈ પર્યુષણનું સત્સંગ. મેં કીધું હા એકદમ મોર્નિંગ, ઇન ધ અર્લી મોર્નિંગ આઈ વોઝ સ્ટડીંગ વિચ ઇઝ ધ 49th દ્રષ્ટાંત, વિચ ઇઝ ધ 12th દ્રષ્ટાંત. આ કંઈ ક્વિઝ માટે હું એવરી ટાઈમ સત્સંગ પહેલાં ક્વિઝની પ્રેપરેશન કરું? So only the last part, the fourth part is different, and in that he gives an example. So he clarifies that principle. So in 49 it was the principle, and in 50 is the principle, no example. The only difference. So to further strengthen that conviction, the Sadhguru repeats the first three parts of the previous verse and then clarifies that principle with an apt example. He says,
भास्यो देहाध्यासथी आत्मा देह समान पण ते बन्ने भिन्न छे जेम असी ने म्यान.
આમ કેમ કર્યું એ ખબર પડી ને તો આમ ના આવશે. People are confused, left to right karvanu ke right to left. Anything is fine. If you have understood what I have done. So again the same thing, Bhasyo appears. Dehadhyasti because of the false identification. What happens? Atma Deha Saman, soul and body appears to be same. Same means one. Means I mean one. Pan, in reality, te banne, both, bhinna che, separate identities. How? I'm giving you an example. Jem asi ne myan. Asi etle sword. Myan etle sheath. Sword je sheath ma hoy, and emathi am tame kado. What did I do? I removed the sword from the sheath, nothing else. Because it's always tied on the waist. So either you can keep the sheath in the hand and take out the sword like this also, it's okay. So beautifully, same thing. So I'm not going to explain the first three parts now. You have clearly grasped it. I can understand. I realize it from your claps. That it is so clear, I don't need to repeat now. I need to only tell you two things now in this verse. One is, why did he repeat? He could have used different words. But why did he repeat? And second, why this example is so perfect. So perfect. That's two things I need to tell you. So short meaning, the soul and the body appear same or one due to false identification, but both of them are separate entities like the sword and the. So Sadhguru continues answering to the disciple, expounding the difference, the separateness of the body and the soul. And here he uses the example of the sword and the sheath. So now I'm not going to use this word sword, and I'm going to use the Sword mate I'll be using asi, talwar, asi, and for the sheath I'll be using myan. Myan is a, so you grasp the meaning. Whenever you say asi in a myan, you know, okay, what it means, okay? So you have to be very, very clear. And this example will make it clear that the body is only a facade. The real spark of life is the soul. This is just an external appearance. The body, like, how much ever the myan or the sheath is well decorated, but if the sword is blunt, it's not nice, it's not in the nice condition, you will say, no, you can't take this for war. But that is very nice, golden design, and as the Gujus will do, jari nu akhu pelu, કોઈ બુકને બી કવર કરે તો જરી જોઈએ અને લાલ જોઈએ અને પેલી શું કહેવાય હા પણ how so if the inner matter, the spark is what is important. So when you say life, the body, the living body, so the body is just an facade, just an external facade. The real spark of life is the soul. That's what he wants to convey, and he wants to, he's actually telling us that you need to cultivate the ability to see that sword. Not just get fascinated by the shape. You need to develop that vision to see the sword when it is embodied or when it is within the sheath. See, Siddha Bhagavan is very easy. It's only the soul. But when it is embodied, means it's in a body. When the sword is in a sheath, that time this is not what is important. The thing within is important. That ability and that vision you need to develop. Because the divine spirit, as the Christians say, the Holy Spirit, Father, Son, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, Shuddhatma, Trinity. Bhagavan, Guru or the Son, or the Messiah, or Paigambar, or Messenger, or whatever. So, Dev, apni bhasha mein kahe to Dev, Guru, and Atma. So, Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is housed in the body, quiet and invisible, except to the seeing eye, except to the eye of the enlightened masters. It is invisible to everyone. But a Gnani Purush can constantly experience the Atma. Even when they are eating, they feel the morsel of food is quite far. They feel themselves nearer. The bolu is not right, but nearer. Atma is so. So it's a seeing eye which you need. Hey Shishya, you don't have that ability, that vision, that seeing eye. Seeing eye, you understand? It's not, I'm not talking of this eye. This eye can only perceive material objects. It is invisible for the eyes that don't see, but it is constantly, ભગવાનના શબ્દ કહું તો અસ્તિત્વ નજરાયા કરે છે. I am hypnotized and mesmerized. I am hypnotic ટ્રાન્સમાં કોઈ હોય કે કોઈ hypnotize કોઈને કર્યા હોય કે કોઈને mesmerize કરી દીધા હોય તો he just follows that person. He cannot see anything else. I have some incidents of my life to share, but I don't have time right now. So I'm going on how I was mesmerized once and then suddenly a thought of Krupadev and I got saved. That in a state of mesmerism, it's very difficult. You're totally controlled by someone else. So from school, I had actually left for some other place only. And there's a long story to it, but let's stick to this, okay. So the divine spirit, you need to develop that seeing eye. So here, this stanza, three parts are repeated. Bhasyo deha dhyasti, atma deha saman, pante banne vinnache. Three parts are repeated. Why? The repetition is made to emphasize on the separateness of the body and the soul. Number one purpose is to emphasize. And why emphasize? Because Param Kripadev wants to give us a clear picture of the harm incurred by false identification. He wants you to ponder today, contemplate, just because of considering the body and the soul as one or same, whatever you want to use, see the amount of ragdvesh you have been doing, the foolishness, the stupidity, trying to pursue for happiness outside. And since lives, so the harm you have incurred because of this false identification, you need to be given a clear picture of that. Okay, this is a very important thing. Don't rush for solutions. That will start tomorrow. But first focus, okay, this is so important. So he wants to draw our, say, the disciples' attention or our attention, we are also disciples only, towards the seriousness of this flaw of false identification or wrong identification. He repeats the stanza and the same words, same letters, so the message can penetrate into our hearts. See, આજે તો તમને આમ બી easy પડશે ને, because બે ગાથા મોઢે નહીં કરવાની, એક જ કરવાની. So you'll be repeating, and the message will penetrate within you. He could have used different words also for the same thing. But his purpose was that it should become like your mantra. In mantra, you don't need different words. You want to repeat the same thing, Sajatma Saruparam Guru, Sajatma Saruparam Guru, Sajatma Saruparam Guru. If it is a stavan, you need different. But if it's a mantra smaran, you need the same. You don't. Variety is against that sadhana. અને કોઈ સ્તવન કરતા હોય ને મેઘલબેન રિપીટ જ કર્યા કરે સ્ટેન્સર, તો કે હવે જલ્દી ગાઓ ને બાપા નેક્સ્ટ વર્સ. In that, the purpose is variety. And in mantra samaran, the purpose is repetition. So he wants this to be, the message should be like mantra in you. You just repeat, I am a pure, peaceful, powerful soul. That's enough. That is the outcome of the discriminative knowledge. You discriminated. And now you have grasped, okay, I goes with pure, peaceful and powerful only. For the message to penetrate within, so that we can focus our efforts in the right direction, he has repeated it. So very clearly, because of the false, again, Bhasyo Dhyadasi, because of the false identification, what has happened? Illusion. And because of that illusion, and illusion is something outside because you cannot see the soul, etc. But delusion, because of the ignorance of the soul, you feel, it appears to you as one. But pante banne bhinna che, they are separate with their distinct characteristics. And how separate, how distinct, he needs to give you an example. So here he gives an example. Jema asine myan. I just want to draw your attention to the aptness of the example. The example is so beautiful and it makes it so clear, and I say this and I end. When the sword is within the sheath, the sword is not noticeable by eyes. So I'm not talking of the body and soul, I'm talking of the sword and the sheath, which are material objects. પેલો ગાંડો કહેતો હતો ને આંખથી દેખાતું નથી, આંખથી આત્મા દેખાતો નથી. તો કે સ્વોર્ડ પણ દેખાતી નથી when it's within the sheath. Right? So when it is within the sheath, when the sword is within the sheath, it's not noticeable. Similarly, when the soul is within the body, it's not noticeable. That does not mean it does not exist. You cannot say, મને તો આ ખાલી sheet દેખાય છે, sword નથી. But then there are other tests to find out whether the sword is there. But you just can't say that therefore sword is non-existent. You cannot say just because it's not noticeable, number one. Okay? Number two, so when it is within, it cannot be seen with the eyes. So in the same way, in an embodied situation, when the soul is within the body, it cannot be seen. Number three, the sword occupies the whole space of the sheath. And in the same way, the soul pervades in the whole body, in every part of the body. It's not, see, sheath, full sword. The sword is not only in the center part. So if someone says Atma is over here, or Atma is over here, કે Atma is over here, P shape નું છે, blue pearl shape નું છે, and you close your eyes and if you find a blue pearl, that means you have caught hold of the Atma. Then this is not Atma because it pervades in the whole body. So how apt is this example? It occupies the whole sheath, every space of the sheath, and even the soul pervades in all the parts of the body. What is more important, the sword or the sheath? True. And what is more important, the body or the soul? Your whole day's curriculum shows that the body is important. ખાઓ, સુવો, treadmill પર જાઓ. Where in none of your activities I saw you are taking care of your soul. That means you are yet in your dehadhyas only. Because for one who has found out that I am the soul, who has realized that, is going to devote all his time only for the soul. So what's important, though you can see only the sheath, but what's important, that thing which is within. That by that you are going to win a war. You are going to kill an enemy. You can save yourself, whatever your purpose is. So what is important, not what you see in the mirror, but the one who knows the body, who knows the mind, who knows the reflection, who knows the existence of the mirror. That knower is you. Perfect? And what the sword can do, the sheath cannot do. What the sheath can do, the sword cannot do. Very clear. The sheath can only be a cover of the sword. ગમે ત્યાં વાગી જાય, જો આમ ખાલી આમ લટકતી હોય, આમ કરતા ક્યાંક તારા જ પગને કાપી નાખે. So it can cover. So in the same way, the body is just like a cover to the soul, but it is unconscious or not conscious, devoid of happiness. So fine, it's a cover. તો sheet ને બી સરખી રીતે રાખવું જોઈએ તો તું રાખ. 3 times if you want to eat, not 4 times. 3 times you can eat. Because the cover also has to be kept well, no? But not at the cost of the sword. Sword તૂટી જાય તો વાંધો નહીં, પણ sheet ને બરાબર રાખો. It's absurd. So every ignorant person, the enlightened person feels every ignorant person illogical, stupid, foolish, idiotic, other I don't know. The enlightened don't understand that if you are saying yes, that I am the soul, and if I see your activities, there's nothing that you accept soul or I am the soul, both. It is all your thoughts are only for matter. Your feelings are for matter, material objects. taking care of matter or what is made of matter? Where is the soul? Where is the acceptance of the existence of the soul? Very clear. So, though they are in the same space, the body and the soul, same space, they occupy the same space, and they have been together since time immemorial. Still, they have never become one, they can never become one. In all the three times, past, present, and future, they are separate, they remain separate. So, this is the way he has conveyed the root cause of the doubt, and now he'll address each and every doubt. He'll resolve into 2 verses. So, we'll sing this verse.
भास्यो देहाध्यास थी आत्मा देह समान पण ते बन्ने भिन्न छे जेम असी ने म्या